Čaute, pokračujeme po bitke v Pribyslavicích a ideme pozrieť, čo nás čaká ďalej.
God be with you.
My lord, I'm afraid you were right when you said these hostilities wouldn't end at Pribyslavitz.
That comes as no surprise.
What has happened?
The men reported 2 more attacks today.
Ah, Henry. I'm glad you're here. It seems like we'll have another task for you. Come and join us.
My lord,
Greetings, lad.
the bandits raided a few remote hamlets, but that's the least of our worries. They also attacked Mrchojedy, and that's a much more serious matter.
Mrchojedy. Matthias is working there.
They attacked right after the battle in Pribyslavitz. Bastards are probably trying to prove they're still strong. But there's a silver lining. Villagers held them off. And they even took one captive. He's wounded, but we can still interrogate him.
Your Graces, I hope I'm not intruding.
On the contrary, Master Tobias. Unlike Bernard, you are the bearer of good tidings. Or so I gather from the coin you carry. Tell me, how many groschen did we find in Pribyslavitz?
My lord, I'm sorry, but my news is no better than Captain Bernard's. These coins are very good. That is to say, well-made facsimiles, as we call them.
What? I don't give a fuck what you call them. I want to know what they're fucking worth.
That's just it, sir. They're worth nothing.
You saying what I think you're saying, Master Tobias? This here
It's just a pile of copper.
Curva! Fuck!
Plated with silver, so it's still of some worth.
Curva! Fuck!
Is it a lot of work to make such counterfeits, Master Tobias?
I should say so, sir. Highly demanding work. Especially to make such plausible forgeries. They would need a well-hidden foundry, several craftsmen, and a source of material.
But they could just be brought in from somewhere else, could they not?
Well, they could, but then again, the silver mines are nearby, and these groschen seem freshly minted, so...
So we are facing a foe who has almost limitless sources of coin. That's all we need.
Doppelter!
Well, gentlemen, it's clear what we have to do. Interrogate that captive bandit, find out their numbers, and promptly cut off their supply of money. Otherwise, they'll soon have another encampment.
They haven't already.
I doubt it, sir. Mrchojedy wouldn't have been able to hold them off if they did.
Well, lad, I said we'd have work for you, but it never crossed my mind there would be this much. You've already proved your worth as an investigator, so I'm putting my faith in you again. Go to Mrchojedy and question that captive. Find out where those brigands are hiding, how many there are, and what they're planning. And while you're at it, see if you can find some clues as to where this counterfeit coin is coming from.
Very well, sir.
Good luck. We're counting on you. All of us. Come report to me as soon as you know anything. I'll be at the lookout point near Talmberg.
Takže Mrchojedy. No. Ach, to cestowanie.
I'm warning you. Don't go to Mrchojedy.
Yeah.
God be with you.
Tie textúry.
What's happened here?
Things are bad. Very bad. First we get attacked by them brigands, barely come out of that alive. And now, the plague.
No.
Plague, you say?
Indeed so. Something's up with the village. Even the livestock are dying. It's a gruesome sight.
Did you put up a fight?
We most certainly did. Once Melikar heard young Straw shouting to the hills, he handed everyone a pitchfork or a flail, and we ambushed the bastards.
Good on you. How did it turn out?
We gave them what for until they turned tail and ran. But they cut up young Straw, something awful. He didn't live to see morning.
Who attacked you?
I don't know. Some bandits. Ever since Skullets was raised, they've been marauding the whole province.
Who are Melikar and Straw?
That's right, you're not from around here, are you? Melikar's the one looking after things round here now. Before that, it was down to Smill from the Neuhoff stud. But they killed him that time they raided the place. And young Straw is the son of Andrew, a local woodcutter. Or was, I should say. The bandits saw to that. His old man isn't taking it well.
Where will I find Melikar?
If you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, Melikar's is the house on the left.
I'd like to talk to Straw.
I see. Well, if you stand at the main gate of the stables and look across the road, you'll see Straw's house on the right.
Tell me more about this plague. It sounds terrible.
Worse than you can imagine. The whole stud, livestock, sheep, chickens, all dead or dying. No doubt the people will be next. Melikar's old woman's taken to her bed, and it doesn't look good. Straw's wife and brother. More and more.
I'm sorry to hear it.
No,
I'm looking
už
for
to dáme
Matthias.
dokopy.
He works as a stable hand at the stud farm.
Matthias. The brigands got him. Poor lad. He's lying wounded at the stud.
I heard the bandits didn't get very far here, though.
Luckily, young Straw saw them still over by the cross and woke the whole village. We even captured one. He's tied up now at Melikar's place. But then, the disease came.
To je
Thanks.
čep,
That'll be all
přátelé.
for now. I need to talk to that captive.
Sorry, no one's allowed inside. Melikar's orders.
But I'm Sir Radzig Cobbler's envoy, and I urgently need to question the captive.
I don't care if you're the Pope's envoy. I can't let you in. If you want to talk to the captive, you have to get permission from Melikar. Take care now.
Měj se pekně. Ideme ako za Matejom.
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
He took me into his garrison.
Hal, the blacksmith's boy, in the service of his lordship. Who'd have ever thought it? My luck hasn't been so good.
Well, at least you haven't ended up begging like half the Skalitz folk in Ratai.
And I'd be grateful if it weren't for this broken arm and the damned plague. Jesus, Hal. Feels like I bring my bad luck with me.
It'll get better.
Certainly can't get much worse. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. There's some disease spreading.
Disease?
Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid. First the horses got sick, then other animals, and now people are falling ill too.
Damn. Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt.
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly broken, but better than a broken neck.
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
Can you describe the raiders?
I don't know. They came at dusk, so you couldn't see their faces. About 20 of them. They weren't humans, though. They spoke Czech.
You talked to them?
No. They were shouting at us. They were very sure of themselves to begin with, but when we hit them in the woods, they didn't look so brave.
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed bandits?
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melikar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could. Pitchforks, axes, flails, and we went out to face them.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torture. But even the women here were armed with what they could find, and they took the bastards by surprise.
I hear one of the raiders was taken captive. I'd like to question him.
Aye, old Melikar let him have it over the head with a flail, and now he's locked up in the barn. But be careful.
Why's that?
That fucker killed young Straw, and his old man's sharpening his sickle for him. Melikar still hasn't decided what to do with him.
I understand old Straw wants revenge, but first I have to question that bandit. What happens after is no skin off my nose.
Good luck, then.
About this sickness. When did this plague start?
The day after the raid, the horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew something was up. By afternoon, they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after the other, and then people.
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
Well, I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some are throwing their guts up, and others are spewing from the other end.
Has anyone died from it?
Aye, old Vurba. Although he was already on his last legs, so no one knows for sure if it was the plague that got him. Either way, the animals are dropping like flies, and people will end up the same for sure.
Who's ill now?
I don't know. What with my arm the way it is, I don't go outdoors much. But I know Melikar and Straw has sick ones at home.
Can I ask you a bit about Mrchojedy?
I haven't been here long enough to learn much, but ask away.
Can you tell me something about old Straw?
He's a woodcutter, tough as they come, and a hothead. He's been out of his mind since his boy died.
It's normal to grieve, though.
Depends how you look at it. Folk are afraid he'll snap or drink himself to death. What's worse, his wife caught the sickness, and he's not taking care of her.
Where can I find this Straw?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Straw lives in the right-hand one.
What's Melikar like?
The locals look up to him. Smill used to be in charge here, but he was killed in Neuhof.
I know.
Sir Hanush hasn't had time to appoint a new vassal, and folk need someone to speak for them, so they picked Melikar.
Thank God you had someone here who could take the reins.
Aye.
Where does Melikar live?
When you take the main gate out of the stables, you'll see 2 cottages outside. Melikar lives in the left-hand one.
Are you Melikar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Sir Radzig Kobyla. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Sir Radzig won't help us with that, any more than he helped us when we were attacked.
No one could have known what would happen.
If Sir Radzig hadn't pissed off into the woods and stayed in the camp, they would never have dared attack us.
If Sir Radzig hadn't gone into the woods, he'd have left so many to attack here that you'd never have fought them off.
Makes no odds now. We've a different problem to deal with.
If there's anything I can do, just tell me.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
Very well. I'll go to the
pomôžem.
monastery. It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us, the prisoner's got the pestilence too. He'll die without help.
If I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Very well, I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses, but don't stay too long in those homes.
That I can promise you.
What? No, go away.
What? Have you come for my wife? You're out of luck. I'm old Straw, don't you know? Straw! You've taken my son. But you shan't take my wife, you bastard.
I've come to help your wife.
To help her over to the other side. Isn't that God's own truth?
I'm sorry that they killed your son. I truly am sorry. But if you don't want that disease to take your wife, you'll let me see her right away. I can help her.
I don't want her taken, no.
There. You see?
What? Are you a quack?
Something like that.
Then go to it. Go! Leave me be.
Fever. Just like Melichal's wife.
Christ almighty.
Fever. Just like Melichal's wife.
Sem sláma. Počuješ sláma. Nič. Tu nič.
Jesus, lad, what are you doing here? Can't you see the plague cross on the door?
I'm here because of it. The monastery sent me to help.
God bless you, boy. It's about time.
I need to know exactly what you're suffering from.
Oh, I see. Well, I have a dreadful fever. My wife too. I recall almost nothing of yesterday. I was raving for most of it.
Is there anything else? Apart from the fever?
Well, forgive me for saying so. The shit just pours out of me. I can't keep anything in. I'm completely worn out. My wife's the same.
You have my thanks. I'll try to bring help.
Wait a minute, will you? I have one favor to ask.
So tell me.
I need to write my will. Can you write?
I might manage that.
Excellent. So get writing.
Yes?
I, Vincent, son of Vincent, grandson of Vincent of Mrchojedy, do bequeath my estate and all my worldly goods to my wife Wilma. If my wife were to pass away with me, I bequeath all to my cousin Dobesh, at this time the cobbler in Yanovitz. In no event shall my prodigal son Elia, the layabout and good for nothing. Inherit a single groschen. All customs and traditions aside.
Should I write that too?
Yes. And then write, the executor of my last will is to be my good friend, Father Fabian, presently the parish priest of the Church of St. Martin in Sasso.
Anything else?
This will was written down by. What is your name?
I can't stand it anymore.
Henry. Presently in fealty to Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Well, I never. That will add some weight. Here, take my ring, so Fabian will know it to be truly from me. You can never be sure nowadays.
Your son Elijah. What did he do to you?
Christ almighty. Trying to interfere, are you? What did he do? Everything. He was to be married, and instead he ransacked the house and ran off.
Hajzel jeden mrňavej.
Fucker. Last we heard he was some jackhand in Sasso. Boozing, playing dice, lying and cheating for a living. Such a disgrace.
Where can I find Father Fabian?
Well, where do you think? In St. Martin's Church, of course.
All right, I'll head off then.
Yes. Go now. Go before you catch the disease. Then where will we be?
Stop.
Dobre, tam sme boli. Ešte to.
Brother, dearest brother, is that you?
Yes, it's me, your, brother.
Everyone is nearly here. We need to get the scallops for the fair.
Tell me, brother, how are you feeling?
Wait, you're not my brother? You're one of those brutes! Brother! Lock the door! They're back again, please, God, no!
Brother, don't you recognize me? It's me, I'm your brother. I was gone for a long time. I've come back home for Advent, remember?
Yes. Yes. I remember. Give me a drink of water, brother. I'm thirsty. Terribly thirsty. I feel like I'm burning in hell. I can drink a pitcher of water and right away I'm parched again. May the Lord watch over you.
Dobre.
Stop!
Ešte je tu dačo. To som bol. Mám nejaké questy. A to je ten farár. Musíme počkať do rana. Zjeme. Ešte dáme hodinku. Dobre, už môžem s nimi rozprávať.
Lord, please end this. Please.
Oh, let me sleep.
To už nič. To som bol. Nie.
Who are you? Can't you see we have the plague cross on the door?
My name is Henry. I'm going to the monastery to get help.
It's long past time. The Lord's already taken my poor Anthony. And what do you want from me?
I need to know how the illness afflicted your husband.
Yes, I'll tell you everything. But first help me bury my husband. I'm too weak. And Melichar said the dead should be buried at once.
Of course I'll help you.
Thank you. We have to bury him at the back of the house. There's a lovely linden tree there.
I understand. I'll dig the grave there.
Thank you. When you're ready, come back. I'll say goodbye for now.
Ešte, že mám tú lopatu stále za sebou.
Grant his soul.
It's done.
Thank you. Now please take him there. Oh, Lord.
No, je tam.
Will you please tell me about his illness?
Certainly. My husband had the fever all over.
Anything else?
He had great pains in his belly. He said it felt like he'd been stuffed with rocks. He was writhing all night through. He must have hurt terribly.
Thank you.
Ideme teda do toho kláštora. Ideme ešte toto a tamto aj ukončím. Dáme si fast travel. A tuto aj ukončíme. Čaute.